Welcome to New Wineskins Community. New Wineskins Community explores new ways of seeing divinity so that the spiritual gifts of everyone are equally valued and nurtured. New Wineskins Community offers rituals especially focused on the divine feminine to change culture from devaluation to empowerment of the feminine. The rituals also symbolize shared power and responsibility to change culture from patriarchal white supremacist to egalitarian. The mission of New Wineskins is to expand experience of divine mystery and to contribute to healing, peace, and justice in our world. We gather here on Zoom on Sunday mornings, the first Sunday morning of the month usually. Sometimes we move it to the second at 11 o'clock. But I want you all to know that New Wineskins Community goes far beyond our Sunday morning gatherings. In fact, Barb Middleton, who will be reading a reflection on her painting in just a minute, is currently creating a New Wineskins community in Boulder, Colorado. New Wineskins communities are springing up all around the country, and our mission is expanding. So this YouTube video will be a resource that anyone can use for their New Wineskins community. So these are resources, and you can request our programs if you are not currently getting our programs. So now we'll begin our worship with Barb Middleton's painting.
I can't see anything.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see the words now. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Do you want me to read it?
Mm-hmm.
So this painting, which I created actually in Dallas when a friend had collapsed with an aneurysm. She had a cerebral hemorrhage. And so as I was painting, and I was also writing and visiting her because we didn't think she might survive. And so in this one, it was right after she had suffered, and she was between heaven and earth. And so the series is a number of paintings until she recovered. And so what I wrote about this specific piece was that she was cradled in the arms of the Great Mother, cradled in the arms of she who directs the flow, she who holds the darkness, she who holds the light, who is the flow, and who is the watery moon and blood river. Ashe.
Ashe.
Darkness joins with light, giving power day and night, flowing through the earth, bringing all of life to birth. Darkness joins with light, giving power day and night, flowing through our souls, showing we are strong and whole,
Let's do our mother prayer in unison. Our mother who is within us, we celebrate your many names. Your wisdom come, your will be done, unfolding from the depths within us. Each day you give us all that we need. You remind us of our limits and we let go. You support us in our power and we act with courage. For you are the dwelling place within us, empowerment around us, and the celebration among us. As it was in the beginning, so shall it be.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Our Mother, who is within us, we celebrate your many names, your wisdom come, your will be done, unfolding from the depths within us. Oh, each day you give us all that we need. You remind us of our limits, and we let go. We let go. You support us in our power, and we act with courage, for you are the dwelling place within us, the empowerment
This is Psalm 3, revision by Barbara Monda. It's from the book Rejoice, Beloved Women, the Psalms Revision. And I would recommend this book. They use it at Ebenezer, her church in San Francisco. And I think you'll appreciate this revision of the Psalm. So what we'll do is go around reading. And as I said, Barb Middleton had to leave early for responsibilities at her church where she's planting new wineskins. And we have another member who will come on in a little while because she's at her church also planting new wineskins. And I would say too that Reverend Winter and Alex and Von Trail McNamara and I were at the gathering last night planting new wineskin seeds, and Colette is also a member of that community. She's here with us today. So Colette, would you be reader 1, Von Trail reader 2, Alex reader 3, Winter reader 4, I'll be reader 5, and then start over.
Shout for joy to the mother of justice and compassion. Happiness flows from those with a right heart.
Sing a new song to Hokmah. Play loud and joyful music on your instruments.
She has spoken and her word has power. The earth and cosmos are the proof of her love and her justice.
She spoke and gave birth to the sky. She breathed and gave birth to the stars. She holds all the waters above and below in her womb.
Stand in awe of her. She utters words of love, and everything comes into being.
The understanding of her works and ways is to be found in the heart.
War does not make a nation great, nor does brute force achieve anything. Only loving acts give relief and cause healing to happen.
Our spirits are lifted by her example. She became our teacher and mother.
With every fiber of our being, we trust in the lessons of Hokmah wisdom. We know her love for us, and we continually await her words.
Now we'll have Von Trail and Alex singing Longing for Healing Peace, which they've also sung at the gathering, a womanish church.
Throughout these perilous days,
When threat of danger holds sway,
and fear is blocking our way,
we're longing for healing peace. Longing for healing peace. We're longing for healing peace. We will seek wisdom's way, learn to gaze. We're longing for healing peace. In times like these, we decry
thy truth is traded for lies,
and just as love. We're longing for healing peace. Longing for healing peace. We're longing for healing peace. We will seek wisdom's way, learn to
Thank you. And now Winter Laws will present her poem, God is She.
Thank you. God as she includes me. God as she frees me. God as she means I am free to be me. God as she frees me to know that I am included in the Trinity. As I pray to God as she, I recognize her fluidity. As I pray to God as she, I feel seen and heard, which is key. As I pray to God as she, I am empowered to be bold and courageous in my plea. As I pray to God as she, I make known my praise and my requests humbly. God as she includes me. God as she frees me. God as she means I am free to be me. God as she frees me to know that I am included in the Trinity. Ashe and Ashe. The scriptures below are available for your reference to share where I see the images of God in the scripture in Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 through 27, created in God's image. Isaiah chapter 66, verses 10 through 13, God as a comforting mother. Isaiah 42, verse 14, God as a woman in labor. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verses 18, God who gives birth. Hosea chapter 13, verse 8, God described as a mother bear. Hosea chapter 11, verses 3 and 4, God described as a mother. This is my recognition of God as she.
Thank you.
Okay.
Ashe.
Now Colette is going to present Divine Feminine Creative Artwork.
Hi, y'all. Bear with me. I'm in my car. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try to flip
Yeah.
this around. I was trying to drive around and find internet, but that's not what she wanted. But I did bring my computer, so I have some works from the Goddess Project here, and this is the one that wanted to show herself today. Like the song and Prayer Our Mother, there are many names of the Divine Feminine, which the more I research, oh, she went to darkness, how appropriate. The more I research, the more I find that they're all interconnected. This is one we did with a friend of mine whose mother is from Japan, and she's representing the goddess Tara, which is probably one of the biggest deities celebrated in Southeast Asia. So she's related to Kuan Yin. Her name means star, Tara, star. I don't remember all of the details about her. It's been several years, but there are 21 incarnations of her that some people do rituals for. It says that she is both male and female. And one of her legs is always ready to jump at your prayers, and her hands are always in this form. But yeah, they say she is both male and female, but they call her her. She's also called Star of the Sea, which the Virgin Mary is also called the Star of the Sea, which I think is very, very interesting. Stella Maris. So she's the one that wanted to show herself today. I love this picture. This picture didn't make it in the book or the website, but I think it's very regal.
Beautiful.
Lovely, absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, she is. So Tara is just one of there are 10,000 names of the divine feminine, they say. This is just one of her beautiful incarnations. And she went back to darkness, from whence we all came. That's all I have for today. Do y'all have any questions about that? Or
Well, I'm struck by the fact that she is both male and female.
I know.
And so often in the evangelical churches, that people always say that LGBTQ individuals, they don't occur in nature. This is demonic and all this stuff. But we can learn so much from our indigenous ancestors who are always much more egalitarian when it came to genders, multiple genders and sexualities and everything.
Right.
So thank you for that. That was really powerful lesson to learn.
right, and was celebrated 4,000 years ago.
Yes.
I also find, which there's always something extra beyond metaphysical that happens within the Goddess Project. And this woman that portrays this, I chose her. She's a friend of mine. I asked her to do this. Yes. Then I start researching. Then I start learning that this goddess, or this incarnation of the goddess, is male and female. But she has children, 3 children, and one is gay and one is transgender.
Oh, that's so cool.
So like for them too to get to read that their mother is fiercely portraying and standing up for them, it just brings tears to my eyes. It's just, like I could never have planned it so perfectly, and it just
You didn't plan it. You didn't, Colette.
No,
Divine design.
Yeah.
I'm not that good. I put it in her hands.
True.
Right.
Oh, that was
Oh,
great.
it's beautiful. The backstory is always as interesting as what we're seeing.
Right.
The behind the scenes.
Right.
I love that you shared with us her personal backstory and those of her children. Thank you for that. That was lovely.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, and I found that every quote unquote goddess model was just as fierce and powerful and interesting as the goddess she's portraying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
Thank you. And you have so many, Colette. Maybe you could feature one each time we meet.
Yeah.
Sure, right. Yeah. She's not who I was expecting to share today, but she's who was supposed to be shared, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now Von Trail and I think Alex too are going to talk about Ella Fitzgerald and Marilyn Monroe's collaboration.
Yeah, fun fact real quick. So this is the book. I don't know, I hope y'all can y'all see it?
What's
I'm
the
gonna
title?
stop share so y'all can see it.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, go ahead, Alex.
Let me put the spotlight on it. So here's the book. It's a children's book. And fun fact, so at my previous job at the library, they'll have books that for whatever reason don't make it into circulation. And they leave it open for staff to kind of grab books, and we can give it out as gifts or we can keep them for ourselves. And I had this as decoration on my desk, and my mom helped me to clear out my desk, and she said, "Oh my God, this is beautiful." And so that's how she came up with doing that collaboration. So I thought I'd share that. It's kind of a fun little backstory to it.
She didn't steal the library book.
Yeah, didn't steal it.
But I want to talk, I want to just say something briefly about collaborations. The collaboration with New Wineskins and everyone on this Zoom call today and The Gathering are just some of the greatest, most soul satisfying collaborations. Next to those of my family, of course, those are the highest order of collaboration, but my collaborating with my daughter, who's collaborating with The Gathering, who's collaborating with New Wineskins, and Reverend Winter, and Colette, and Barb, and our co-pastors and their collaboration. Those lead us to where we are now. And as Colette has said, and we agree that it's all preordained that we are here. And keeping with Dr. Jan's theme, lightness joins with light, I'm going to take that obvious delineation as far as skin tones are concerned. Ella is the dark skin toned or complected woman, as we would say. Marilyn is the light skin tone or light complected woman. And they had a very unlikely friendship, if you will, looking at it superficially. But if you really dig deeper into their commonalities, there are lots of intersectionalities in their lives. And I'm just going to highlight a couple of them. First of all, they were both from dysfunctional families. Ella lived on the streets for a few years before her talent was made known to the jazz world in New York. And as you recall of Marilyn Monroe, she was orphaned, lived in several orphanages. So neither of them had a really close kinship or relationship with their mothers or their fathers. Ella was very, very talented, but not in the traditional sense, like the Lena Horne was, or like the Dinah Shore, or like the Dorothy Dandridge, the slim, if you will, acceptable Black woman of her era. She was a heavy-set Black woman. She was a dark-skinned Black woman. So she didn't get as many opportunities to show her talent as those other women did, the other women who could pass, as we say in the world. Marilyn Monroe, on the other hand, was the antithesis of that. She was the blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman with the giggly voice and with a figure that slayed 1,000 presidents. President Kennedy and his brother. Wink, wink, a little history lesson in there. And but they had intersectionalities. They had misogynistic barriers they had to overcome. They had, I made a few notes here, let's see, so that I'm trying to move quick here. Racism, Ella had racism. They both had sexism. Ella had segregation. And Marilyn didn't have all of those, but she did suffer from PMS, sexism, misogyny, and was dominated by a male industry. Both of those women were entertainers. One was a singer with the voice of 1,000 instruments, known as the jazz singer, and the other was an up-and-coming movie star. So they both had issues with men dominating their lives, men dominating their careers, men telling them where they could perform, where they could eat. In Ella's case, where she wasn't allowed to perform. And they formed a collaboration, if you will. I don't know if you all remember the movie Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. Well, Marilyn had a small singing part in there. Well, Marilyn couldn't sing, but Ella could sing, as we say in the Black community. So Marilyn was given Ella Fitzgerald records, and she was able to sing in her movie Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. But that planted a seed in Marilyn's mind. I want to get to meet that woman. I want to meet her. She's got the greatest voice I've ever heard. So Marilyn started attending Ella's jazz sessions. And they talked. And the first time they talked, it was similar to when I first met Dr. Jan. I thought, now there's something different about, well, not Dr. Jan, I'm sorry. When I first met Jan, I thought, now there's something different about this woman, but I'm still vetting her. We say vetting in my house. That's one of the words we use. And by vetting, we mean, tell them what vetting means, Alex.
Yes, it's sort of like an unconscious act that a lot of people of color do when it comes to white people. Because it's, just to be honest, because we have to kind of look and be okay, or it's an act of protection and survival. So we have to, whenever we meet people, anyone, I think it's natural, but especially when it comes to people who are different than us, people who do have some semblance of power in society, kind of look at them and we say, okay, is this person safe to be around? Are they going to be nice? Are they going to be friendly? Or are they going to try to act like they're going to oppress me or something like that? So that's
because we were leaving a situation from our other church.
We had some PTSD from our
we had
previous church.
PTSD and we were in a whirlwind. But moving on, Marilyn and Ella became fast friends.
Yeah.
And Marilyn Monroe was one of the early proponents of equal rights, women's rights, civil rights, human rights. So Ella would tell Marilyn asked, well, I don't see you at these clubs. And Ella would tell her, well, I'm not allowed to be there. So they collaborated. They put their two talented heads together. And the Macambo was one of those very sophisticated, high classy clubs that Marilyn would perform and visit all the time. And Ella had dreams of performing at the Macambo, but she wasn't allowed to because of Jim Crow, segregation, and all of those things that were on the books. So Marilyn and Ella hatched a plan. Marilyn called the owner of the Macambo and said, look here, if you don't allow the best singer in the world to come to your club, I'll never come there again. So by her using her authority and her position, Ella Fitzgerald was able to cross the color line. And that broke open the floodgates for Ella to perform all over the world, literally, you all. So by Marilyn didn't know how that would affect her career because there were many stars who were blackballed, if you will, for taking a stand. But Marilyn said, hey, this is the right thing to do. No one should be unfairly judged or kept from using their God-given talent because of the color of their skin. So that's the story of Marilyn Monroe and Ella Fitzgerald's collaboration. And it's an untold story. And I would not know this story except for my daughter having had this little book on her desk. And I wanted to share that. That's the light and the darkness collaborating to bring light to all of us. Thank you all for listening.
And an important lesson in using your white privilege for good.
Yes.
So, yeah, like you, Dr. J,
yes.
and you, Colette.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Your position of authority to uplift people of color and everything like that. And I think it's very important because a lot of my white friends, especially in the last couple of years in 2020, would ask me, well, what can we do? What can we do? And I just say, well, just think about your sphere of influence and see what you can do to help someone who looks differently than you do and may not have as much access to resources as you do. So every little bit counts. So thank you. Thank you.